So, I told y'all, if Extraction was a huge success, that we would be seeing many people wondering when exactly is the sequel coming. I made an Indie Explain for Extraction. I talked about how insane of an action movie it is and what it meant for the future of action films on Netflix. Sort of. I didn't really go that in depth, but I did talk about how hugely popular it was at the time of me making that video. And now it has been said by Netflix themselves that this movie has gone on to have 90 million viewerships, and that's more than any other movie I think that they said as well. So I think Netflix is really on a pretty good rise right now, if I was to say so myself, because every movie that they've pumped out over, let's say, like a 3 month period, it's just gotten progressively better. Their series as well have gotten progressively better. And at a time now when the Oscars are saying, you know what, it doesn't matter if your film is playing in theaters or it's streaming, they will be considered for Oscars now. It looks like Netflix was way ahead of the like everybody else in the game of streaming when they were starting to do more Oscar baity movies, I would say. Because let's face it, The Irishman was Oscar bait, no doubt about that, and kind of backfired that they didn't get any nominations, but it was kind of a win that they were included in so many nominations as well. So they are becoming a big deal when it comes to these award ceremonies that they want to be a part of, such as Amazon Studios as well. Amazon Studios, another studio that is really focused on streaming but also does theatrical releases, are really coming together because I haven't seen a bad Amazon Studio film. Now, this is nothing to do with Extraction because I think it will get some nominations as well. But I want to talk about the possibility of Extraction 2, as you see from the title. So, there's two ways they can go about this. There is two very different ways, and they could either work, and I would be excited to see any of these. So, the first one is new protagonist, sort of same story, ties it in together, and it's like that. Just like that. So it's like, I would say, sort of like a Predator movie where it's sort of the same premise, sort of the same things going on, but it's a different setting, new characters. That could be one of the ways they could take this whole thing and make it into a new thing. But I really do believe that they are going to go with Chris Hemsworth still. So the way he was presented in his movie really had me feeling like they wanted to create their own John Wick. They see the popularity of John Wick and they want that emulated with Chris Hemsworth. Because as I said in my Ending Explained for the film, you see him be built up almost to a myth status, sort of a legend of sorts that people talk about. In that final shot where the boy comes out of the pool and he sees the shadow, I think that further pushes that legendary status of this character in Rake, that he is sort of this legend that people will see, and now he is sort of in the shadows, and when you need him he will come, sort of like a Batman-esque figure. So I do believe this is the route that they would definitely take, and the other possibilities would go with that route because the road then splits for you. Do you do a origin type story where we also see David Harbour's character back in the day with Rake, or do we see a new storyline progress where he sort of becomes this in the shadows agent that you call when you have a really hard job that you need to take on, but you got to get the right guy that you know is going to go ahead and finish the job, just as Rake did in this movie. So that is a possibility there. Or could there be a continuation of Extraction 1 where maybe not everybody involved in that is dormant and is going to forget what happened, because let's face it, he had to go through a lot of people and he was bound to piss somebody off whose loved one probably he killed. So there could be that possibility of revenge going on. So I honestly think that there is nothing that they couldn't possibly do, because there is a wide map for them to go into these many roads that could lead to the next film, and all of them work. So, like I said, they could definitely go in that route. I mean, imagine if we were to get a John Wick versus Rake, like, crossover episode film, whatever you want to call it. I think that would definitely be like something that blow the internet over. But I don't know. My thoughts on Extraction 2. I'm highly suggesting that they are going to go in the way of John Wick. I don't think there's going to be a new protagonist because I think that people do want to know more about Rake and exactly where his story will progress, maybe a little bit more of his backstory as well. And I'm all here for that. I cannot wait to see them further develop this character and get him to that status of John Wick. Which, by the way, John Wick got delayed to 2022, so sad news all around. But anyways, besides that, yeah, those are my thoughts on what Extraction 2 would be. Definitely something of a more development for this character, not a new protagonist, and we would definitely see how he is progressing now being in the shadows. That would definitely be an interesting story to tell. So I do hope that Netflix is able to continue this. I applaud the director for his first directorial debut. We gotta talk about that because for a first directorial debut, this man went above and beyond and delivered something so high paced and not that shaky cam that all of us have grown tired from. And I cannot wait to see exactly what he does next. Now, as I said, he was a stunt coordinator, so I mean, you can pretty much tell before he even did this film that it was going to be great. And another stunt coordinator that did a film as well that was pretty good was Deadpool's director. And I mean, the future is here. The future is here. But let me know your thoughts on Extraction. Did you enjoy that film or not? I see a lot of people are saying it's a little bit overhyped. I don't think it's overhyped. I think it's a pretty solid action film. It doesn't have to tell something meaningful. It just has to be good. But I thought it was a pretty meaningful movie as well. And are you looking forward to Extraction 2, or are you scared at this point they're just going to be milking this dry and then we're just going to get some shitty stuff? Because I thought that about John Wick. I saw the first film and I was like, masterpiece, stupendous. And I heard John Wick 2 was coming, right? So I was like, ugh, I'm a little bit worried now. But no, impeccable. And then number 3 came out and I was like, okay, now I think you can hit a sequel. You can do that one. But you're going for a threequel. Are we really going to do that? And it came out and pleasantly surprised again. They knew their audience. They know what they need to do. They don't try to do something too crazy to make it feel like it's very much not the same universe. But they still go a little bit above and beyond. And they deliver very well. So I'm all on board with however many they want to make. And I think the director or creator or writer was saying that they're thinking of doing 6 of those, so it could work. Back in the 90s, we had like 13 Halloween movies and like 100 Friday the 13th, so I think we could definitely bring that as long as the content stays good, because if you go back to those movies, it got worse as it went. So I don't know, your thoughts on Extraction 2 and possibly this being an anthology. Well, not really an anthology because it's the same story, but you know what I mean, like a big series. What are your thoughts on that? And anyways, if you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Make sure you hit that like, comment, share, all that good stuff. I have a video on Dangerous Lies, the newest Netflix movie coming out later today. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, make sure you're subscribed, turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you follow me on Twitter where we talk more movie news. I'll also be updating my website this weekend, which I've been trying to do for the longest. But also, if you want to hear me talk about music, such as the newest releases, singles, mixtapes, albums, all of that, you should definitely go follow me on Anchor. I post some music stuff here on YouTube, but I'm mostly leaving it just to the movies and TV shows and bigger releases such as a full album or project, whatever, and where I talk about singles and all that is on Anchor, so I'll leave that down below. I also post most of my videos on there as audio format if you just want to listen on the go, so go follow me, it's down below. And I'll also be playing some video games on my Twitch and on here as well. I'll leave that below as well so you can check that out. But I leave the question up to you. Extraction 2, do we want it? Do we need it? Or can we just leave it? Let me know below. And if we do get it, what do you expect to see? New characters, new protagonists, all of that? Or do you still want Chris Hemsworth, Thor himself, to come back as a protagonist? Follow the story of Rake even further. Let me know below. I'd like to know. Make sure you subscribe. We're on the road to 15,000 subscribers. So close to that goal. Hopefully we can get there pretty soon. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. As I said, Dangerous Lies video coming out later today. Russian sleep experiment video coming tomorrow. As well as Never Have I Ever thoughts probably Monday. And then also the Hollywood video as well. So yeah, that's going to do it for me. As always, I hope you stay safe. I hope you're getting good hygiene, and staying positive. And I'll see you